ABC 15 breaking news.
And an unpredictable wildfire exploding right now in southeast Arizona. Hundreds of homes in the line of danger. People evacuated, and to make conditions worse, we reach record-tying temperatures today. Fire officials calling this fire unpredictable. We know within just moments a Red Cross shelter has opened up. Some 200 homes now under an evacuation order, and this fire dangerously close to many of those homes and businesses. We talked to one evacuee who said the fire was literally up into his yard by the time he was able to get out. At least 8 fire departments now helping in this area, and we want to show you just exactly where we're talking about right now in the Kearny area, about 90 miles southeast of the valley, as we look at some of these pictures from Air 15. This is a town of about 2,000 people. They have certainly weathered fires before, but this one quickly growing into a major concern that threatens a lot of homes and businesses there. We want to check in with one of the volunteers who's been helping to get people out, helping to provide a lot of comfort to these folks who may not have anywhere to go. Norman Warren is on the phone with us right now. Norman, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Give me an idea of your role in this.
Well, we really haven't done a lot hands-on other than we've donated a lot of water to the emergency crews. We've and to the I understand they opened the school for a shelter for the evacuees. We gave a lot of water to them, and there's not much more that we can do other than stay open and supply services for them. We got a full tank of gas, fortunately, we have a fuel station, and a lot of people are using that. I'm sure they're worried, so they're filling up their tanks.
Norman, you live in the town of Kearny?
Yes, we do.
And give me an idea. You've been through this before. A couple of years ago, you had the shipment fire there, burned in the Gila River bottom, and it threatened some homes as well. This one just looks massive, and some of the pictures that we're seeing show it really coming dangerously close to homes. From the ground, give us your perspective.
Well, that's the difference in this fire and the shipment fires. It is so much closer. We had some people evacuated during the shipment fire, but this fire seems to be touching a little closer to home. Our town runs right along the Gila River, and that's where the fire seems to have been centered. From where I'm at, I don't see the actual fire, but I can go out behind my business and watch it, and we did that today, and it was amazing how fast it spread.
Yeah, I mean, everything started at about 11 o'clock this morning. That was the first report of a fire. From then until now, about 6 hours. Give me an idea of just how much it's grown.
Well, it looked like it was fairly well isolated when it first started, and the winds were pretty mild, and all of a sudden the winds picked up, and it was amazing to watch how it spread. From our vantage point, we could just see it, and it's it just has gone the full length of our town and beyond, and there are several homes that it's very close to.
A lot of people very concerned. Norman, thanks for joining us right now as we watch one of these helicopters trying to move into the area and pour some water on some of these spot fires that are popping up. ABC 15's John Erickson also on the scene there in Kearny. John, just got an update from Pinal County Sheriffs. They're really not letting anybody into the town at this point, but boy, that fire really looks like it's burning behind you.
Steve, the fire right now is 0% contained. We got an update just a short time ago from the Pinal County Sheriff's Office. Several hundred homes have been evacuated, and at this point the fire is somewhere around 100 to 200 acres from different estimates we've heard. Let me show you the sky here. What in most of the rest of the valley of Arizona is a bright blue summer sky, right here in Kearny, dark gray as this Kearny River fire continues to rage. And what we're seeing on the ground here is every about 30 seconds or so, we're seeing these what look like tiny bonfires flare up as these salt cedars catch fire. And a man who owns this property says that these are very dry. They're about the size of a small tree, and when they catch fire, they just go. So this thing, again, is 0% contained. I want to show you some video now that we got a little bit earlier here. It's from the Stevens Mobile Home Park, and this was the first area to be evacuated when this fire got closer to them. This is as you go past Kearny on 177, coming from Superior, just on the other side of Kearny. I want to let you listen to what a man had to say about the evacuation when he was told to get out of there.
They said, out now. And I told them, okay, I've got 2 guys. And he says, okay, and you checked off the list. And
At this point, luckily, no one has been injured. We have about 110 firefighters, authorities told us. 2 structures believed to be sheds have been lost at this point, and possibly some more buildings near the airport here. This parking lot on just off 177 has kind of turned into a staging ground for people who can't get into Kearny. This is Susan Fuentes alongside her dad, who has some medical issues, needs dialysis. Susan, you were just trying to get home from Chandler today, and then all this happened.
Well, we were down in the valley all day, and we had appointments. So then my aunt, who lives in the 200 block, she's the one that called us and says, hey, there's a fire going on here, be careful. So we're coming home, and as we come past the mine, we just see the big smoke. And it's like, okay, let's find out a little closer. As we approached, then the police stopped us and they said, no, you can't go any farther. And my problem is I dialyze my dad because he's got no kidney. And I have all his machine and his medical equipment down there at the house. And they evacuated the 400 block sector, and we live in the 400 block sector. And my aunt lives in the 200 block sector. So
this issue especially precarious for you and your dad, Susan. Wish you the best. Thanks so much. So again, 177 is closed right now. Right next to the highway is my colleague, Justin Pizzera. Justin, throw it over to you now.
Yeah, we're along Highway 177. They just shut this down. You can see here the Pinal County Sheriff's Office has closed it down in all directions. These are really tight, winding roads, so they really want to keep this area open, but there's a lot of residents that are starting to come in now. You can see here along Highway 177, these are all folks that live in town. They really don't know at this point what's going on, so they have a lot of questions. The Sheriff's Office is out here trying to answer as many questions as they can. I talked to one lady. She literally got up to this barrier, and like 30 seconds later they shut it down, so she wasn't able to go in. This is what she had to say.
And when I drove up, I was the last vehicle, and I was, and they said, we just closed it 30 seconds ago. And I said, please, can I just go through? And they said, no, turn around and you got to park.
Yeah, so she is here parked now. The Red Cross also just got on scene. They are handing out drinking water, and there's been a lot of confusion on where the official shelter is. I just got a text from the Red Cross shortly before going on. It is at Superior High School. They said that they're going to provide lodging there, a shelter, of course, food, water, and a nurse will be on hand. But at this point, Highway 177 leading into town is completely shut down, guys.
Yeah, a lot of concern in that town at this point. Thanks so much, Justin. We know that not the entire town has been evacuated, but about 200 homes in that area have been evacuated. Obviously, some people still able to stay in town. We will see if that changes, because we know that the orders have really changed rapidly over the last couple of hours. Originally, it was just a few homes. It doubled in size. They've moved the shelter a couple of times because they want to keep that out of harm's way. So at this point, that shelter about 22 miles away from the actual fire scene. Our entire ABC 15, of course, has been working this story. ABC 15 Stephanie Hockridge was able to talk to State Senator Barbara McGuire. She actually lives in the town of Kearny and described a little bit about what she saw there.
Most of the folks who board their animals in a local facility down on the lower part of town have gotten all their animals out, and folks that weren't here, the locks were just cut, and other people rescued them. So it's a great community. Everybody pulls together when stuff like this happens.
Of course, she's been helping to recruit resources to there, and she does tell us she anticipates more evacuations may be coming. Given the growth and the size of this fire, certainly wouldn't be surprising if other people were told to get out, especially for 2 trailer parks, she says, that are not far from Kearny at this point. They're possibly going to be evacuated, so people there need to be getting ready and need to be on standby on this. Air 15 up over this. Obviously, we're continuing to follow what we're going to be bringing you the latest as this fire continues to grow.